MedBricks webcast is a new kind of healthcare media channel to break the silo mentality and foster interdisciplinary thinking. Our mission is to fill that gap and to create a curiosity through different lenses, tapping the passion that guided the historical figures in medicine and bringing present-day groundbreaking research to the front lines. We interview physicians and leaders in the industry about present-day healthcare challenges on our live programming. Hey, welcome to the MedBricks webcast. This is Ramana Annam Raju. I'm the host. There was a little bit of a confusion there. What happened was that the Dr. Madhiraju is scheduled to come. The timings, he's in India. So I calculated wrong daytime savings. I didn't take into account. So I gave him a wrong time, Indian wrong time. Actually, my time is correct in the States. I started 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But there was a confusion. He was trying to join. He's a cardiologist and actually from New York, and he moved back to India. He practiced 20 years in New York and Michigan, those areas, and then he went back to India. He started, cardiovascular disease is growing. Is becoming a bigger problem in India. Is a massive problem. The people in 20s and 30s are getting cardiac problems in India because their lifestyle is because sitting in front of the computers, call centers, and all these things, and processed food. These are all causing a lot of problems. So I hope he may join. Otherwise, I'm going to talk with him at the end. Maybe he will join at the end of this conversation, at the end of the show, at the end of the hour, last 15 minutes of the hour, he may join. But I have a great program. I want to continue the program. So because I invited a lot of CEOs, the reason is I hear a lot of physicians, healthcare professionals complain about hospital management. I've been hearing about this for the last 30, 40 years. It's a very common thing. But I tell you something interesting. This is at one time I'm going to go against the odds of I'm going to come to rescue for the hospital management. I tell you, you need a special kind of rescue mission. We need a quantum computer for that. So I'm going to explain to you quantum computers, why you need a quantum computers to help the hospital management system. I tell you, hospital management. This is a very serious problem. So I'm going to, people, there is no question. The healthcare professionals are burnout is a real, as a fact. There are a lot of, the suicide among physicians is higher than the general population. Medscape report is, I cry, no one cares. Is a staggering report. It's reporting all over the place. 50% to above 50%, they're getting this burnout rate, anxiety and depression, all kinds of manifestations. It affects the family life. So I don't have to repeat all these things. Everybody knows about it. So is there anything that management is causing this problem? You can't blame all to the management. There is something. I'm coming to rescue for them. I tell you, I'm going to show you a problem that is beyond the management. It is inheritance it is a part of the healthcare system itself. I will explain to you why it is. So I'm going to talk about that. Actually, we need a quantum computer for that to solve the problem. It's not beyond the management. It's beyond the human scope in our abilities to solve the problem. So I'm going to explain a little bit about that. So let me, without a further ado, let me do that. I'm going to come down and here. I hope he's going to join with us. Dr. Satish Madhiraj is a structural cardiologist from India. So I hope he's going to join soon. Otherwise, I'm going to talk with him some other schedule. But anyway, that is, I was mentioning about the hospital management system, why hospitals are having a problem with this, hospital management. They're constant complaint about it, because the management, they're all humans. One time, Optum CEO, previous CEO, Dr. He starts with the D. I forgot. Sorry about that. He was talking about then I sympathized with him. I understand the problem. And he responded to me back, the past CEO. He's also a physician. So, this is all not just a universally all the management problem. It is actually a problem beyond the man. It's a mathematical, it's a computational, it's a beyond all those things. I'll talk about that in a second. So to talk about that, I'm going to go to France. Happy Valentine's Day for all of you. But some people yesterday. This is a Coco Chanel. She loved pearls. She's a French heiress. Coco Chanel loved pearls, Indian pearls. She used to wear that pearls quite a bit in Coco Chanel, the famous fashion icon. So she can suppose, just I'm giving you a thought experiment. She comes to those pearls and drop in the jewelry box after coming from the party and drop in the box. And then you want to get it falls in such a pattern, right? It is going to fall in such a pattern. And if you want to get the exact pattern, if she does every day, it's almost thousands of years she does, still she cannot get the same pattern. I'm going to repeat this. If she drops the pearl necklace in the jewelry box, the pattern it falls, it is impossible to get the same pattern. It is almost thousands of years it takes to repeat that pattern. It's simple, but it is a very complex. It is already strange, right? I will give you another example for that. If you take you're all CEOs, sometimes you write something and you throw in the dustbin all the piece of papers, right? You crumple up the paper and throw in the dustbin. You know how many ways you can crumple the single paper? Billions of ways, if not a trillion. Billions of ways. It is so simple. You can make in 10 steps or 12 steps, you can make origami. But to crumple the same stuff, it takes a billion ways you can crumple the piece of paper. Napkins or anything you see. That is right in front of you, the complexity right in front of you from a simple system became extremely complex. I'm going to show you an Indian mythological story, how this simple system goes so fast into the complex system. I'm going to play a video. You will like that. And it's the Indian mythological story, how simple system can go complex. This is the one I'm going.
Ambalapooza is a small town in southern India which is famous for two things, the Sri Krishna temple and Pal Payasam. Pal Payasam is a dessert that's made mostly of sweetened boiled milk and rice. According to legend, the king of Ambalapooza was a big chess enthusiast, and he often challenged visitors to a game. One day, a travelling sage arrived at the court of the king and challenged him to a game of chess. The king accepted and asked the sage what he'd like as a prize if he won. The sage said he'd like some rice. He'd like 1 grain of rice on the first square of the chessboard, and for the number to be doubled for each square after that. So the king put a single grain of rice on the first square, 2 grains on the second square, 4 on the third and 8 on the fourth. He looked at the grains and thought what a ridiculously modest prize. He accepted the sage's wish and the game began. The sage played well and easily won. True to his word, the king ordered a bag of rice to be brought and started to count out the grains onto the squares. He was shocked when he got to just the 12th square and found that he needed to put 2,048 grains onto it. He realized that the prize was going to be a lot bigger than it had first seemed. After a long calculation, he figured out that for the 30th square, he'd need about 536 million grains. By the 40th square, he'd need about 550 billion grains of rice, and for the last square, the 64th, he'd have to count out a staggering 9,220,000 trillion grains. Altogether, he'd have to give the sage about 18,500,000 trillion grains. A single long grain of rice weighs, on average, about 0.029 grams, so the total weight of rice that the king needed to give the sage was about 535 billion tons. That's more than 1,000 times greater than all the world's milled rice production in 2019-20. The king realized it was impossible for him to pay his debt. In the legend, the sage turns out to be the god Krishna in disguise. When he saw how upset the king was, he appeared to the king in his true form. He told the king that he didn't have to settle the debt immediately, but could pay it over time. So the king started to serve pal payasam in the temple free every day to pilgrims until the debt was cleared. In mathematics, this kind of growth is described as exponential, and as we've seen, it can give rise to large numbers very quickly.
So that is the simple system becoming a complex system very quick. So why we have the same problem with this? Why we have a human brain is not, we are equipped to think a linear way. You know, what is tomorrow, day after tomorrow? Our brains are evolved into the linear world. You know, that's it's not equipped to understand the exponential numbers. Every stage, early stages feel very slow, and then immediately in the overwhelming, it becomes overwhelming in the latter stages. That is, our brains are really struggle with it. Limited exposure in daily life. You don't expect tomorrow your house is going to be under the water, because that is not our thinking. Our thinking is everything is normal. It's going to be a little bit here and there, maybe rain tomorrow, but you're not going to expect it's going to be flooded with the water. That is our brain is not allowed. They don't think that way. So we are not. So optimum bias. We're optimist. So that kind of optimum bias is also the cognitive bias gets involved, and then human brain will not think about the large numbers. Where do you get these large numbers? In hospitals. Hospitals have hospital logistics, or the immense complexity it has. I'm going to explain to you the balancing patient needs. Staff utilization is the biggest problem. Is a resource allocation and pricing and all the compliance issues. All of them are becomes a complex very quick. I give you one example of that. You will be surprised how fast it becomes there. So if we take a 500 bed hospital, I'm just giving you an example. 500 bed hospital. If you see 500 bed hospital, you see the how it fast. It just let me bring that thing. 500 bed hospital 500 employees in the hospital. You get the 3-month shift. I'm talking about staff scheduling. 3-month shift. It's go to the choices are staggering. 3 to the power of 90. That is the 3 quintillion choices. 500 people, 500 staff members, 3-month schedule, all possible combinations and permutations you need to put together is a 3 quintillion, not a billion, not a trillion, 3 quintillion. It is staggering number. If you put all the total choices together, it's more than atoms in the observable universe. It's more than the atoms in the observable universe. See that hospital system, a scheduling became a simple system, became extremely immensely complex. That's a lot of people don't understand. This is I'm not saying that I made it up. You can check with ChatGPT. I did a calculation there. It is even all the AI telling me scheduling is extremely complex. Hospital scheduling is. So the choice is the people, staff wants to go, they want to pick up my mother-in-law, somebody is on vacation, somebody, all kinds of permutations and combinations to take it is an extremely complex. That's a complex system. It is. So I'm just giving you, even the bed allocations can become a complex system. So, that we have, if you see that, then not only that, you have a EHRs, electronic health records, that's overwhelming now. Medical imaging is growing big numbers because all the data, medical imaging, X-ray data, is just an unbelievable amount of data that it brings to you. Wearables, people doing from the goddamn bathrooms, they send you all the data to the hospital. So you have to really watch all this data. It's overwhelming. The pricing and the compliance issues, just to name it. You think about the data, that wearable data coming to the hospital, all these people, it is going to overwhelm any hospital on the planet. There is no way you can manage that system with the regular traditional computers. The numbers are huge, humongous, and there's a problem there. So this is the financial. So hospital management, they said that Medical Group Management Association, MGMA, said that pollsters 80% of healthcare leaders, healthcare administrators are under a lot of stress. They are also feeling burnout. You're not going to go to the work and everybody hates you. That is the situation healthcare leaders are in. They were thrown into the system. It's not them. There may be a little bit personality problems there, but they are literally thrown into the system and asking them to produce miracles. It's a policy and the political level. It's a lot of other problems, a complexity involved. Financial constraints, staffing, scheduling. So increase in regulations and reporting. It just keep on increasing regulations and technological advancement. Everybody says, "Oh, we got this system, that system." I already made one topic on the software entropy. Entropy means your disorder goes up. Every time you update any system, the entropy goes up. So entropy means disorder goes up. So it's a lot of pressure for the hospital management. So how do you solve this problem? Quantum computers can solve some extent this problem. Cleveland Clinic started it. The Cleveland Clinic and IBM started a collaboration together. Started a collaboration that is patient scheduling optimization. Quantum computers work optimization programs. They excel in optimization, particularly this kind of scheduling programs. Artificial intelligence is not enough. You need a quantum system. Why we need a quantum? What is special about quantum system? You may ask me. In Cleveland Clinic and IBM got together and trying to solve this problem is patient scheduling optimization program. It's very well known in the computer field. Traveling salesman problem. It takes thousands of years to solve. Airline routes, airline scheduling. These are all complex problems. It's an exponential problem. It just goes into the simple system, immediately turns into the complex system. So what is a quantum computers? What is a quantum, you ask me? A lot of people ask about quantum all the times. So I'm going to give you just a brief, very layman terminology for the quantum system. What is a quantum? Quantum is, I'll give you that's a maze, you see, the maze, and then a cheese at the end of the maze. So in the classical system, mouse, what it does is keep on trying a series of steps. It goes, hits the ball, come back, and keeps going, keep on trial and error method. It uses several times. Eventually, it reaches the cheese. It's a series of steps in the classical computer. For quantum, there is a magic happens in the quantum computers. This mouse becomes a ghost. Just follow me. It's not really ghost. It becomes, we don't even know what it is. It becomes a ghost. It splits into the multiple ghosts, and it takes all possible paths at once to cheese. all possible paths that can be in existence. It takes all possible paths to the cheese. So then immediately fix that possible path and goes to that path. So it's always, if you play with the friends, the maze game, the guy who is the really quantum angel guy, some kind of a angel quantum guy, is going to show up always the first. He's going to reach the end first. You will be surprised. He's always there waiting for you. That angel quantum guy. So even the maze. So one of the strange thing is that if you ask him, how did you come in, he cannot tell you. The same problem in the quantum computers also. It can achieve the results faster, but it doesn't know. It forgets. There's a mathematical restriction on it. It doesn't know which path it took it, but it tells you fastest way. That's a very strange. That is a quantum. So I'm going to explain to you. There are two concepts in the quantum physics govern the quantum physics. One is superposition and entanglement. Both are more or less same, but they're kind of a way they define the definitions itself. So superposition and entanglement, the two concepts. Superposition is, I can explain to you, for example, in the Indian god, Lord Shiva, is both man and woman same time. So very Lord Shiva and Parvati is the same. He's a man and woman at the same time. It's not that what you're thinking is not this California compliant. It's just that is the way Hindu mythology works. He is a superimposed, both of them. Whichever way you want to pray, that he will show up like that. If you want to pray Shiva, he will show up. If you want to pray Parvati, his wife, she will show up. Entanglement is like a twin sisters. They are born in the same place, and they left to do different states or countries. They can feel each other. They say that all the times. They influence unspoken bond they have. One Maldacena says that very well. He says there is unspoken bond between this entanglement. So these are the two concepts. The superposition and the entanglement are the two concepts run the quantum systems. So what are the I'm going to explain to you a little bit of quantum entanglement. It's a non-locality. This is what Albert Einstein called spooky action distance. So you go to take two of them, two electrons. One is a clockwise, other one is a anti-clockwise. Two electrons he produces the two electrons in the same source, and you put them into the billion. You put them in two separate pieces. Actually, until you observe it, that electron as a clockwise and anti-clockwise, both spins it has same time. Both of them. Once you observe it, it takes up one of the positions, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. The other one exactly becomes opposite without any communications. There's no known communication between them. That is still mystery in physics. Quantum entanglement, how do they communicate? We have no idea. So quantum entanglement is influenced even billions of miles away from each other. They influence these things. So until you observe it, it is always the electrons in superposition. It's a both clockwise and anti-clockwise position together. It's a very counterintuitive idea, but it is. Both sides. Once you observe one area this side, that affects the other one. That is called a quantum entanglement. Let me talk a little bit about superposition. This is the one important. That's what the quantum computers work on. That mostly that is where quantum computers you see the benefit of quantum computers. Quantum computers, I'm going to give you an example of everyday example for you. You have shoes, you're going to the office every day. So nowadays, at least twice a week, you have to go, right? People. So you put your kid, you have a small kid, it's a naughty kid. What he did was he takes your shoes and put in one box, one shoe, in the other box, other shoe. Box number one, you put one shoe. Either left foot or right foot, you put it there. The other shoe, you put on the box number 2. So when you go there, so what do? When you open it, um, you know that, just a minute. Yeah. When you open it, so if it is in the left foot is in the box number 1, you know automatically the right foot is on the box number 2. That's a very common sense, obvious, right? That is called correlation. It's called correlation. That is a correlation. There is a special kind of correlation exists in the quantum world. I'm going to explain to you that. This is a correlation. If he puts a left foot or right foot on the box number 1, the left foot is going to show up in the box number 2. It's a very common sense. You don't need a rocket scientist for that. So this is a very simple, straightforward game. But the problem, the complexity comes here. The strangeness comes here. Superposition. It is what it is when you put these two left. When he puts the shoe on one of the box number 1 and the other shoe in the box number 2, quantum computer says that it becomes a ghost. It is a both left shoe and right shoe same time. Box number 1 has both left and right foot, both of them same time is superimposed in a ghostly form. It's kind of a ghost. It exists. It's a both left and right. It's an example. I'm giving an example. Ghost. It becomes a left and right foot in the same time in the box number 1. Same thing in the box number 2. It is an absolutely, that is a superposition they call. That's a kind of a correlation, but a very strange kind of correlation, a special kind of, it's a magical world. So the left foot, right foot exists as a ghost in the left side of the shoe. Both of them is a left and right foot shoe same time in both boxes, in kind of a magical way. It is beyond our common sense. So the moment you open the box number 1, I'm putting both box number 1, both sides. It exists as a ghost. Then the moment you open the box on the right hand side, they both are. I didn't put the box number 1 same time. One is closed, the other one is open. The box number is open. When you open the box number 1, it assumes one of the positions. You have no influence on the choice. It is not you making a decision. There's no free will. It is already determined. It is making a choice for you. A system. I don't know who makes that choice. Some people say God. That's okay with that. Whatever you think about it. So you have no influence on the choice. It picks up one of the positions, either left foot or right foot, without any preference. There's no preference for it. It will show up either left foot or shoe, left shoe or right shoe. Automatically the other shoe becomes the other one without even communicating. That is a more mystery. Both of them exist, a left and right foot shoe, same time. When you open it, it becomes one of them, the other one becomes opposite without a communication. That's the strangest thing in the quantum world. How do you measure? How do you check this? There's a way. It's a mathematical John Bell's inequality, it's called. But he solved that problem through mathematics. Actually, he said that the quantum to classical, when you observe it, it becomes a classical. But they exist before you open the box. They exist as a ghost. So it is a proven in 2022. So another example is Schrodinger cat. That's called superposition Schrodinger cat. The people always talk about it. Is both dead and alive same time. Until you open the box, the cat is both dead and alive. Einstein said that it seems ridiculous, but it is true. In the quantum world, says it is true. So quantum physics keep giving us great results. Experimental results are wonderful. So actually, that's so I'm going to give you another example of this one. Classical. How do you classical to quantum is if you have a switch, electric switch, there is a light in the wall, light on the ceiling. You have to do 2 positions, on and off positions of the switch, to know that belongs to that switch, belongs to that light. In a quantum board, there's no on and off switch. There's a hole, that's it. Only one, immediately. It's a one step. They cut down the steps already. Well, how it happened? That's the counterintuitive idea of the quantum physics. You don't need to turn off or turn on the switch to know that light belongs to that switch. So that is a strange, right? Quantum doesn't require two steps. You're reducing already steps. So that's a qubit. That's what they call in the classical world. You have one and zeros. Either bit is either electron, the voltage, either 1 or 0, clockwise, anti-clockwise, either one of them. But in the qubit, they call computer bit, in the quantum computer, the bits are called qubits. They exist both 1 and 0 same time, and all possible values in between. One of the strangest things. Infinite possibilities exist in the qubit. Once you observe it, it becomes either 1 or 0. It takes one of the classical position. How do you prove this? Actually they proved experimentally. It is called this is Anton Zeilinger and the Elion aspect and John, I think his name is, let me see in my okay, 1 second. Okay, Anton Elion aspect of France. Yeah, Elion aspect of France. John Clauser from Walnut Creek, from here, very close by. And then Anton Zeilinger from Austria. They won the Nobel Prize in 2022 for the quantum entanglement. They won the Nobel Prize in physics 2 years ago. They proved it. How do you prove it? I'll give you one example. How do you prove it? It's a mathematically. Suppose you have a suspicion that your girlfriend is, so your wife or girlfriend is, you're trying to take a date. So that she's an angel, for example. You're trying to date an angel. She says that I work in New York, I work in Los Angeles, same time. It sounds ridiculous, right? So, but I can test it mathematically. How do you test it? You cannot check on her. You cannot send anybody. Any communication you use it becomes a classical. How do you check it without knowing, without getting any information from that side? There is a way to do it. John Bell did that. Actually, I'll give you an example. If you go randomly to the Los Angeles home, her home, she shows up every time you showed up, million times. And then you go to the New York, million times, without telling her. She showed up every time. It's impossible. Out of million times, she has to miss one time at least. She's not missing it. There is no way you can prove that. With that statistical approach, she has to exist in both. She has to live in both places same time. That is one of the funny example. I gave it that. So next time your girlfriend or your date appears and all the times everywhere, that is she's the ghost. But anyway, so they won the Nobel Prize for this kind of things. So John Bell gave inequality. They proved it. It's a quantum entanglement and superposition is absolutely experimentally proven. You don't have to worry about that. Race is on. Quantum computers are the biggest, huge prize for everybody. All the computer companies, IBM, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Intel, all of them jumped in. China is a very powerful competitor for us. India, United States, and China are almost tugging each other in the quantum computers. Google has a Sycamore quantum computers already installed. Canada has a D-Wave, and very few countries have it. India doesn't have a quantum computer. Even though we talk about computers a lot, India do not have a quantum computer. So it is a IBM, Microsoft, Google. Why? You can solve. Why do you need a quantum computers to solve problems? What problems you can solve? One of them is scheduling problem, as I mentioned. So That optimization, it is quantum computers do excellent optimization. The other thing quantum computers can do, miracles of that in the future. This is going to blow your mind, honestly. If you take the AI not itself is not enough, because AI does still quantitative data. It is a number game. What quantum computers does is, for example, during the COVID, the summit IBM Summit computer, 200 trillion operations it does per second. It did produce 70 molecules for the COVID treatment in 2 weeks. It took a 2 weeks time. A fastest computer on the planet took a 2 weeks time, continuously running to produce 70 identifiable molecules for the COVID treatment. Quantum computer can do in seconds that part. Quantum computers are very good at it. But that's still number game. What is AI and quantum together? It is a different world is going to start. Quantum, my iPad is giving a little hard time. Yeah, just a minute. Sorry. Yeah. So quantum computers, what it does is it's called quantum natural language processing. This is it takes understanding you. What do you mean by going to church, going to a temple? What it means to save my child, sacrifice something. It's not logical. Some of these things, quantum natural language processing, because he understands the language and eventually understand you. That is a QNLP, still is in the process. Quantum natural language processing is understanding the language and understanding you. Quantum symbolic AI, the next one. Quantum symbolic AI is a symbol, is a concept and relationships you have. Your child, your parents, all the relationship, put that you express through words, you express through audio, you express through actions. All of them are a combination of qualitative analysis. You have a qualitative numbers. So why I'm talking about healthcare disease? Social determinants requires a qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis is one of the biggest challenge in the healthcare is social determinants, giving the equity, giving the fairness, giving the treating people with the dignity and giving access to all the resources to them. It's a responsibility of the hospital management. So you're asking them to produce, you need a quantum computer, qualitative data also required to feed into the numerical data, and then can really produce a solutions for the healthcare problem. It's not all just some kind of a managerial inefficiency. It's a lot more than that. It's a simple system turning into a complex system. So what is that? What is these two things, AI and quantum computers get together, is a great combination. It can be deadly also, but you can do good things about it. You can solve a lot of this unfairness and give access to the quality and prioritize which bed is to be allocated to who. During COVID, people struggle to who the bed goes to who. This kind of a decision is a very tough on the management. Quantum and AI together can make that decision. Humanity's next big step forward is AI plus quantum. So you take the qualitative data and the numerical data, you combine them together, it becomes a very powerful tool. That is unbelievable power we have in the unprecedented power we have. So, but one of the strangest thing is, where is this universe connects all? Do you know that? The error correction of the quantum computers, very strange thing I'm going to tell you. You will be surprised. The physics of the black hole, the physics where the event horizon, Hawking radiation where the black holes are, the physics of the black hole, they use that physics to do the error correction in the quantum computers. Holography, They use a hologram. Juan Maldacena is the one who gave the holography tool, that holographic principle. Universe, maybe an illusion, grand illusion. So that concept of hologram, we took it. Then you use that error correction for the hologram error correction used in the quantum computers. Take it from all the way from black hole, using the quantum computer to do the error corrections. That's an amazing. What do you think about that? Universe is trying to help us. So we are stupid enough to find a small problem among ourselves. It's just a ridiculous. We are a humanity. We have bigger things. So it's not a war against suits against scrubs. It's not a tie against the doctor against the management. It's a science with the people. Science is the fundamental. It can solve all our problems. We have to give that credit to the science itself. So I think that is what my presentation. I love to do that second time, but it is going to be fantastic. Thank you for watching. This is my presentation. I wanted to get back to you. So it's all we have to solve this problem in healthcare. It is. I was a Ben Taub. I was reading about a Ben Taub about Houston, Harris County Hospital. It's Ben Taub Hospital is called. He combined the business and the compassion together. He was a very successful businessman in Houston, a Jewish man, and then he really helped all the people up there, and so he combined them. It's not all the ties. People will wear ties. They are against not helping people. That's not the true. But we have to really take care of people. That's a science with the people. That's what I call. We need to use a science to address this problem, healthcare problem. It is going out of control. Now it's not anymore rich and poor. There's a lot of white people, a lot of black people, a lot of other races. They are in the same stage, same situation with the healthcare system. We need to solve this problem, sir. It's not just one against other. It's a serious problem, and I hope we all join together as humanity to solve this problem. It is a human problem. It is a universal problem. We need help from the black holes too, all the way to the quantum computers, all the way to our consciousness. Thank you for joining, and I really appreciate it. I hope Dr. Madhuraja will join us next time. Sorry about that. I got confused about the times, that Indian time. I gave him a wrong Indian time. It's 6:30 in the morning. I said, he told me that daylight saving 7:30 for them in India. So there was a confusion. Sorry about that. He came down. He appeared on my show before. It's the second time he's coming. I'll bring him back again. Love to hear from him. He practiced 20 years in New York, and then he went back there doing this. Cardiovascular problem is a huge. India is becoming a epicenter for the cardiovascular problem. So we have to solve it. Otherwise, this is a national emergency. You have to solve at the national level. These are the policies you have to make. Politics, same thing. Our politicians are not doing anything about healthcare. Everybody's watching each other, and it's not solving any problems. Everybody's scared to touch this problem. It's a political problem, I think. But you're going to get into, you have to be a leader. Both sides, the management and the doctors, leaders, and solve this problem. It is a mutual problem and a human problem. Thank you for all watching. Good night. And then I hope I see you soon. And the next one is Dr. Stephen Wallace is a direct dermatology care. He is from Stanford educated doctor. Next Wednesday, is going to appear. I'm looking forward to talking with him. It is an absolutely thank you for watching, all of you, and let me just say a final goodbye to you, all of you. Then so join with me in the next week with this conference. Good night, all of you.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.